good?
There we go. RightonQuelive, and we are live, and I'm in a great mood. Before I introduce you guys, how are you feeling today?
We're good.
Good?
Yeah.
Good. Tag-alongs, good?
Good.
Plug, you good?
I'm good.
Okay, I'm good. And part of the reason I'm good is, first of all, everybody's on time today. That is super rare. One guest of which came early with a gift that I can add to my apartment. Got some nice tapestry, you know.
Show off the gift to the camera.
Wait.
I want to see.
Self-made painting, you know. Even though she got an Android, but it's like, no shade about that. But you know, I'm in a great mood. I'm glad everybody's in a great mood. So, on that note, while I unwrap this, introduce yourself, Miss. The gifter.
My name is
Ooh,
Shanina Dionna.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
That's a print. That's a print of a large scale tapestry painting. I am a visual and performing artist based in the tri-state area.
Old tri-state.
My work serves as a platform to help raise mental health awareness, and it has been for the last 7 years.
So bomb.
I'm also a youth arts teacher at the Urban Art Gallery in West Philadelphia for a nonprofit there.
Yes.
And you, Miss?
My intro is scattered compared to that. But my name is Reed. On YouTube, I'm known as MisMossTheBoss and MisMossTheBoss TV. So obviously, I'm a YouTuber. I also do freelance videography and like social media management and like graphic construction or whatever. Under my own little business name, Moss Moves Media.
No, say it again.
Moss Moves Media.
Okay.
Okay. And I aspire to basically use my journey as like a testimony to help others and to provide different narratives of women of color within the media, whether it's in front of the camera or behind the camera. So I also do like film stuff too.
That wasn't scattered.
Yeah, kind of.
That was
She had to unpack every sentence. She was like,
I do a lot.
But don't we all know?
We do. Complex.
Shout out to the multifaceted, multi-talented creatives out there, or whatever. And also, you were the tag along last time you were here with O and Demel on the Nice for What episode.
Yes,
I really like that. I
that's
really
what
like
it
the
was.
discussion. So jumping right into it, you say you're a YouTuber. How do we feel about YouTube couples? Because I'm learning more. Because like I'm big on Twitter. I'm not really a big fan of Instagram, but of course I'm on it. Whatever. YouTube. It's funny because I'm actually very heavy into YouTube as far as like interviews, conspiracy theories, and documentaries. But recently, more and more, I'm starting to find out this whole other pocket of the industry of YouTube, the YouTube couples and the vlogging, all that stuff, whatever. So talking about that, any thoughts on that, your experience, anything like that? Would you ever be like a full on, like, what's the girl, Queen and Chris Sales?
Personally, all right, I've been a part of the YouTube community for a minute. I was actually on YouTube when I was a young boy, but I was doing totally different things.
Wu-Tanging?
No, I was singing covers, and I had a show with my little brother. That didn't last that long, but once I got to college is when I kind of took it a little more serious, and I did the whole vlogging thing. And when it comes to like YouTube couples and tags and challenges, I feel like now from like before, it seemed like YouTube was this like weird community of, or not weird, but like it was just a group of people who liked recording, I guess, stuff. And it was like genuine in a sense. Now it seems like, I think because everybody knows you could get monetized and get some coin, like it's become like this thing that's very oversaturated. And with the couples, it don't seem authentic. Like it don't seem that authentic. Would I ever do one? Because I definitely got a boyfriend, and I definitely been asked like a billion times.
So heavy. About your king.
Right. I don't know. Like I feel like if I did, it just it can't be like the typical stuff. Like we gotta probably do like sit downs and talk shit together because we interested like that.
Y'all should start couple beef.
That's a thing by itself.
Y'all fake as shit over there. We got real arguments. Any thoughts, Miss? On the whole thing.
I don't know them by name. There is one, oh goodness, I can't remember her name, but she's like an upcoming comedian. I think she's hosting something on Nickelodeon. I don't even know her race, but she broke up with her boyfriend like publicly. They were YouTubers.
Oh, like Liza?
Yeah.
Oh, Liza.
Right?
I don't know that person.
She's like a comedy.
Yeah.
Like.
And she's funny. She's
blogger.
really
Yeah,
funny.
she cool. But they're huge.
Yeah, and she and her boyfriend were like this big entity together on YouTube. Honestly, I don't know what the story was, but it was very public on both ends, and they made this post and it got a ton of hits, and they were both very respectful and just, you know, sharing that they still loved each other, and I just thought about like, you know, what merits the whole like feeling like you have to share that and explain and give that's so but I mean, and that's so funny. I was just thinking about this. It's funny that you're bringing it up. You did. Synchronicity. No, I, you know, just thinking about the character and integrity of the people who are.
Can you get Zach? Can you get a cup out the pantry?
Yeah. Are we drinking?
He brought some Jim Beam.
Apparently.
Let's go, sir. I like your energy.
I did not need that. No, I tried to let him know
Rep your king. Come on.
But it's okay.
Oh, is that King?
That's King.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's King.
okay.
Support his queen.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's interesting, and like even when I'm on Twitter, like every other day. Oh, Zachary, sorry. Obstacle course, calm down. But the makeup world is big on YouTube as well. I see or wigs and all that shit. Like it's YouTube is endless. I really thought I saw it all, but the last year or two, I'm like, yeah, it's like there's a whole other thing, and it seems like it's still expanded somehow. Like the makeup shit and the hair. Also, I realize, I hear that kids watch people play games.
Yes.
Oh
my God.
You
get so much coin.
I don't understand that either. Like, why you watching
Listen.
adults play the game instead of just playing the game?
That's
like,
the thing.
Because that's what they know. They know that iPad.
Mhm.
Like, my little cousin definitely be out here watching some little boy named Ryan play all the toys. But if you ask him to play with some toys, he'd be like, that's boring.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, really?
Wow. Crazy.
That's the age
Okay.
that we're in.
Have you guys ever had to feel like you had to learn to love yourself? 'Cause I see like a lot of people in that vlogging world in general, in the expression age we're in with the social media, people talk about, oh yeah, you know, whether it's a women saying I was dark skinned, I had to learn to love myself, or my hair, or men did this, or my parents did this, and I'm always amazed at how many people just generally suffer with just low self-esteem or just self-doubt or self-appreciation or shit like that, whatever. And I see like, wow, a lot of people really have to learn to love themselves, and kind of you see their journey through social media, like or even with weight, any type of shit. It's like I see a story every day. I had to learn to love myself indirectly. Any thoughts on that, ladies?
Yeah. So, what's the question that you're posing exactly?
One, what do you think about having to learn to love yourself, and have you had to go through that journey?
What do I think about having to learn to love yourself? I think it's very important, pivotal in anybody's life, man or woman, boy or girl. It sets the tone. The younger you do it, it sets the tone for who you're gonna be later on in life. So with my work,
Talk about it.
serving as a platform to help raise mental health awareness for the last 7 years, a lot of that has come with learning to love, like radically accepting myself.
And that's what it is also, like we are in a it's a positive that the trend of being more vocal about mental health and all that shit. So I feel that's helped with people being able to go through that journey.
For sure. Yeah, no, so, and you said, what did you say, through weight loss? Like, for me, it's through art, visual and performing art. So was it back in 2011, I was studying in Chicago at the Illinois Institute of Art in Chicago.
My dad lives there.
And, my brother is still there with my 5 nieces and nephews. Shouts out to them, I miss y'all so much. All right. So I was studying there, and I presented my first ever.
You got beer too? Yeah, you was prepared.
Got all the drinks.
We're going somewhere
On time
after
with all
this.
the drinks.
I respect the pregame. I respect it.
Yeah,
I'm with
2 in
that.
1. So I presented my very first photography series entitled Flaws and All back in 2011 in Chicago, and I did it solely for the sake of enough was enough, because I grew up with chronic insecurities. I didn't think I was beautiful. You know, every little thing I picked, I self-inflicted a lot of pain on myself because of my how I viewed myself. And so I came out with flaws and all. I'm one of those women who don't shave, that kind of thing. And I developed very early. At 9 years old, I started my menstrual, my homegirl.
Me early too, girl. It's
yeah,
okay.
you know what I mean? And so I developed early, and I always had attention from men when I was 10, 11, 12 years old, and all that affected me as a young woman. So so Flaws and All came out as an ode to, like, throw caution to the wind, like, accept yourself. This is it. Like, this is the only body you're gonna get. Love it now, or don't love it at all. So I kind of I picked up one because they started to sag early, because I was bigger when I was younger, then I got thinner, and then it was a whole thing. So I would pick up one breast for the photo, let the other one hang, and take that shot. I would put both my hands up. You can see the thickness of my underarm hair, and I took that shot. I took the shot of my feet because I was very insecure about my flat feet that, shouts out to my dad, gave me. I do not have an arch. I have very flat pancake feet, not knees. Shouts out to my papa for giving me not knees. But as I grew older, I understood that this is what makes me. This came long before me, and art helped me to verbalize that. It's always been I always credit art to be my brave side of sharing visually when I would not otherwise have the courage to express verbally. So when I shared Flaws and All, it was a black and white series, and I cried. I was shaking and I cried, and it was my first time ever doing that in front of a group of people. I always kept that in, and I was like, okay, this means something. And then a woman, a bisexual woman, or maybe she was lesbian, forgive me, she pulled me to the side and wanted to actually purchase one of the photos that I for a good amount. Like, she wanted a really large print of the photo and I was like, really? And I'm young and impressionable. I'm like, oh, this can be something. So I moved back to Pennsylvania. I finished up school here in Philly, and I said, okay, Embryo. That's where Embryo was birthed. Embryo is the name of my annual art exhibition series that I have every year in March, the mental health show. And it all came from there. So it's always, I'm still on the journey of self-love. I'm still on the journey of radically accept, and then paying it forward, you know what I mean, what I'm learning in the process. Because I don't present myself with all the answers, but I like to think that I have something worth sharing, in hopes to help that 12-year-old girl.
And sharing can help discover more answers for everybody.
Yeah, for sure.
That was great. One question. So the shaving thing with the underarms, is that just year round, or just in a spurts, or you just rock out at a certain time? I'm just very curious.
The last time
like, you ain't shaved since the Chicago exhibition?
I've shaved since then. No, the last time I shaved might have been, oh God, it's been so long. Because it doesn't bother me, so I just I let it rock.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
How about you, Miss?
I'm here for it.
Just all of it from the very beginning. Not the shaving part, but you can end with that though. Yeah.
What, do I shave? I can begin. Yes, I shave. Cool. But for me, self-love is like a constant thing you're like learning to do. It's so ironic because today I actually like went back on my videos of last year, and this exact day last year I had made a video about how okay. But I had made a video about how, like, I just wasn't feeling myself. I wouldn't say for the first time, but like in a very long time, I really was like, yo, I just feel ugly all the time. Like, and I actually like recorded myself doing it, and that took a lot. Cause like, since I started my YouTube journey, I was always the friend amongst my YouTube friends who like didn't want to go too deep into my, like, how I feel about things. Like, if it wasn't just happy feelings, I kind of was like, all right, but I don't need to sit here and post this, that, and the third, because I got friends who cry on YouTube, and I'll be like, dang, you really did that. And then they be like, sis, you better get that coin. And I'll be like, I'm not about to sit here and cry in
or
front
show
of
your
my
king.
camera.
You gotta do something.
The
money's out here.
What? I mean, I had one video like that, but it still took a long time for that to even happen. It was like once it started happening, I was just like, oh, fuck it, I'll just post it, I guess. But then I was still like, nah, it's just not me. It's not for me. But anyway, and I was, in that video, I was talking about all those things. And then I think of like now and like the constant ways in which I kind of revisit those thoughts kind of like now, or it might be in a different way. Definitely like when it comes to my career and like time and how I feel about that, I'll just be really, really big on myself. But through, I guess, my YouTube channel, for the most part, I have vlogs or the content videos of like moment of clarities that are supposed to be like video diaries to remind myself, like, okay, the lesson you learned from this, remember, because you find yourself going through that often.
Gotcha.
Or being too hard on yourself and things like that. So I guess for me, my videos allow me to go back and see like me in different moments and mostly happy moments.
Okay.
So
I get you.
to bring me back to ground.
Your vlogs are a form of therapy even for yourself as well. Right?
Definitely.
Yeah, and it's really fascinating to me as I, observe these type of things more and more, because I personally never dealt with those type of pressures or low points, whatever. Of course, like I like when you said, pressure of your career and your career path, all that stuff, whatever. Yeah, I definitely deal with that. But as far as like my parents wasn't a thing, but I also think, but the most people I see talk about is women, and I feel it's also because we're in this Me Too era. We learn more about the things women go through and the pressures. I feel it's because it's been a male-driven society anyway, so you won't hear. Of course, everybody go through something.
Yeah. Right.
But I feel you're never gonna be able to compare what women go through to what men go through from just a biological standpoint and just from a society conditioning thing as well. So yeah, I think it's important to keep talking more about it because men, a lot of times we are dumb and naive. I'm not even ignorant and just like even like intentionally at times. So I think we can learn more and more. So like stop being a dickhead, stop being an asshole.
What I enjoy about the shows that I do, I to that point, Q, I think even though it shows that women go through it more commonly, I think naturally we're vulnerable and we're open about it. But men, historically,
that's a privilege.
Right, and rightfully so. Not taking that away at all from us, but men also historically have gone through a lot of
definitely.
chronic insecurities.
Life is hard.
Low self-esteem, that kind of thing. Yeah, and and the beauty of my shows, like I have men in the culture, right, in the thread of Philadelphia, who will come up to me after my shows, and I esteem them, and I still esteem them as these like strong men who are tastemakers, change makers, that kind of thing. But they will pull me to the side and they will share XYZ, like, I'm glad that you did this because I was going through this too, and you encouraged me to talk about it or speak up about it or write a rap or something. And I'm like, okay, yeah, the men are out here hurting too. Like,
yeah, like you said, your guys are kind of allotted the privilege to do that, and the things that men go through on, like, let's say just a parents level, are kind of laughed at, minimized. So my best friend, he's short. Okay. So, he always preaches about heightism, while the same woman that's being like, don't fat shame me or don't shame my hair, this and that, equal weight. But nigga, if you ain't 5'9", you ain't a man. You a woman, bitch ass nigga. You ain't 6 feet. Don't talk to me. It's like, damn, I thought we was all about, like, not hurt feelings and stuff. Like, so, or they're like, oh, your niggas go bald though. I'm like, yo, you can control your weight. I can't control my hair. Like, so it's like, let's always get along. Like, let's calm down.
The hypocrisy is very real.
Very real, definitely.
Double standards is very real.
Very.
But it's important to also just, for anyone, whether you're that fat woman or that short brother, it's important for all of us to just be a little bit more mindful to create safe spaces for anybody to just be who they are.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever intentionally dealt with a rebound person or realized you were the rebound?
Q, we got to go. Oh. Thanks y'all for having
Zach, cut
us.
the mics. You got the mics.
Shanina Dionna
Because
out.
we got Dennis Rodman over here. She got all the rebounds. She string all these dudes along because she still messing with a dude from 05. All y'all rebounds.
Q is kidding. He doesn't know anything about me. He just met me today.
We in sync.
So.
We in sync. I saw it through the glasses. But I'll start. So one girl I dealt with. So first, I always talk about, right, like, how I don't believe in a bunch of relationships. Like, I believe in a lifetime. You should get like 5 real serious ones. I mean, it was like real love, real connection, real passion. I really knew each other, this and that, whatever. I'm on 2.
Okay.
So once I get past 3, I'm out the game. I'm single forever. I don't care if that's 30. I'm done. I'm out the game. I'm 26.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I get 3 more relationships in the next 4 years, I'm done. I'm just bachelor for the rest of my life, whatever. But so that being said, but I've talked to many girls, whatever, on so many different levels, whatever. But one girl in particular, and it was over like, close to a year or something. I knew from the very beginning that this was not going nowhere. Like she was very cool. We had a good connection. Everything was good. And also, she was like part of like a rebound period where I knew that I just had to get some things out of my system, and I just knew that she just wasn't.
That's a thing.
Yeah, like like
getting out the system.
Yeah, and I just knew that she wasn't what I would want to cuff per se, or whatever.
Okay.
She just wasn't. She didn't have all the checks weren't there. No, I don't need to cuff you, whatever. Like she couldn't dress. Like, no, I can't cuff you.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
That was one of the things. So.
I mean, hey.
But my point is,
Style shaming.
I say all that to say rebounds are necessary for growth. Like everybody use them differently, but you need the rebounds to win the game of life.
Okay.
Bars. So share your testimony, sisters.
I,
Because women are queens of the rebounds. And y'all be stuck on dudes for decades.
wait a
And y'all be
minute.
going to do mad rebounds.
Rebound means like, okay, so on some real, like, before my boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. He better not be no rebound.
No,
Oh.
disrespecting you, King.
No, but he know, because I told him off rip. Like, I wasn't necessarily searching for relationships necessarily. I'm somebody who firmly believes in, like, I gotta be your friend first. Like, I gotta like you enough. Like, I don't like people like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I get
long enough.
You don't fuck with me.
So
I had a beggar to come on the show.
I've never really experienced like the rebound thing. Like my boyfriend really is like he's really my first real boyfriend. Like I've never really.
I'm gonna just say I hope y'all last forever because the rebounds of this gonna be crazy. It's gonna be some epic rebounds. Like, don't mess with her if this is over, fellas. Just let her breathe for like 3 years.
Right, true.
It's gonna be crazy
because I really was single for a very long time. And
you changed your life. That's the king right there.
Like if I liked you, I liked you. If I didn't, I didn't. If you had a real, I can't fraud. I was one of them people that people probably was like, yeah, I've been talking to Reed for like a minute. And I don't know where this is going. And I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I like you sometimes you don't. And it was just like, I didn't want to be bothered. Like, I'm not going to waste my time in the whole, like, get in it. Because in a sense, that's the thing. Like, my loyalty and relationships to me is like, we in here.
Yeah.
Because that means I really fucks with you to give up my
do
time
that.
of freedom of whatever I want to do and I just worry about myself. But
And you do a lot, so that's it. I mean, it means something.
yeah,
I
I've always been like that.
Yeah.
Always been like that. So,
Next question.
Come down to the altar, the congregation, miss. Speak your testimony. Come on, sister.
you gotta give the other perspective.
Speak it true. What's your rebounds per game?
What's my weight?
Oh, you got a few more. Come on, you can down that a little bit. She got a little more in there.
I'm a lightweight. I need a chill.
Okay, got you.
So the thing about rebound, I've been against rebounding.
You were pass.
Yes.
Got you.
Yeah, but no, I kind of. When you say rebounds are essential,
don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about.
When you say rebounds are essential to growth, I'm not gonna pretend like I don't understand where you're coming from. But to your point about men being, what did you say before about men being ignorant? Let's say ignorant.
Yeah.
That's not.
Shade coming?
That's not necessarily.
No, it's
true.
education. She's trying to give you
not
education.
necessarily
Educational
true.
shade?
No.
Call it what you will.
Okay.
And I'm feeling a little, shouts out to the king here. I'm feeling a little. You gonna get it all right now.
Half a shot? Oh, let's go. Half a shot. She feeling it.
I'm giving it all. Go
You know,
ahead, girl.
I was cold, but now I'm hot. So.
Hey, okay.
Okay.
Super featherweight. Okay.
So
Let's go.
no, I honestly disagree. I do not think that rebounding is necessary for anybody's growth.
Okay.
I think that if you are, I'm a very firm believer in you just don't F with people's emotions.
Right.
You don't
Let it
string
be
them
known what you
alone.
want.
You don't if you're gonna be committed, be committed. If
Yes.
you're not, be their friend and keep it moving.
I see what's going on.
Healthy,
here.
be healthy in your
I see
intentions.
what's
Yes.
going on.
Healthy in your intentions, healthy
I see.
in your decisions that you make, because karmic energy is real.
Okay, I see.
You know what I mean?
So
And
a few
let's just
people
keep it
a few
100.
people rebounded you, so you misinterpreted what I said. So
that's actually not true.
okay, okay.
That's actually not
First of
true.
all,
She
nigga.
was
I
like,
would-
I used to give the I was rebound.
Okay, no, this is what I was saying.
I'm trying to tell you
I
that it's
was-
just not nice.
no.
I was raised to always be honest.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you're honest, you can't be held accountable for what the other person goes through. Whatever.
Amen. Same
So
here.
when I went through these real situations, like the girl, for instance, the girl I was talking about, I never once told her, "You're my girlfriend. This is going somewhere." No. So to me, I was never
Wait.
playing with emotions per se.
Did you ever like
Per se.
kind of define though? Like,
No,
did
because to
you-
me,
did
I'm
you
sure
talk
she would say
about
I was
it?
playing with emotions because I liked you more and no, from the very beginning, I never said you're my girlfriend.
But
Never.
did
But
you
what
communicate?
did you
What were you
communicate
communicating?
what you
Just
were,
flirting?
though?
that you're not my girlfriend. If you're my girlfriend, you're nothing.
So it's so
You said that, though.
with her not being your girlfriend. What did you do with her? Did you
See,
have sex with
this
her?
where y'all
Did you have
always
sex
go.
with her? Did you
This where
go?
y'all always go.
Did
Y'all
you
always
go
go.
there?
You were doing
Listen.
girlfriend things.
That's not even 100% because I'm gonna be honest. Like, all right, so we just gonna keep it raw then, I guess. Okay. So there was a guy that I got introduced to in the midst of like right before I started talking to my boyfriend,
Your
right?
king, right? Got you.
Yes, to my king, right?
Shouts out to
And
you.
and basically, the day I met him was like a rough day for me. Going through that loving yourself, I was low key depressed. So I went out kind of with a bad goal, like it was to get fucked up. Never again will I ever. And I did accomplish that goal. So his first time seeing me, I guess, made him have all these types of assumptions. And the next day, thing is though, I didn't get effed up to where I couldn't remember though. That's not a thing.
You
So
wasn't effed up.
I remember.
That ain't really effed up.
No, it was bad, but we're not gonna talk about that. That's a different story time for
Okay, got you. Part two.
But I remembered our conversation, and I guess he assumed that I didn't, and he off rip like text me the next day on some stuff like, "Oh, I don't want no relations with you, really, but I'm trying to basically be like sex buddies."
Okay. Shout out to that
And
king. Honest.
for me, I was
Forthcoming.
like honest, and I was like nizzle, not a thing.
Okay.
And on top of that, I never said I wanted to be in a relationship with you. I don't know where you got that from.
Okay. Jump the gun.
Regardless,
Gotcha.
we both agreed to be friends. As we were friends, we hung out a lot. We would hang out, chill, whatever. But for me, if you already tell me in the beginning that you kind of just only want sex from me, and I didn't already only want sex from you, you wasn't that to me anyway. Like, that wasn't the idea here. I couldn't, in my brain, once you tell me what you want, that's what you want. You're not about to evolve over time and try to change the story. So what ends up happening is I continue to hang out with him, and then I meet this guy, and I go, well, not meet, but kind of rekindle. And then New Year's comes or something, and he ends up like getting drunk and asking my friend right before we leave, like our friend, because we have mutual friends, ours house, and he's like, "Do Reed talk to somebody else?" And she like, "Yeah, nigga, why?" And he was like done, like furious. So he hits me up with some like, "You knew I liked you," and all this other stuff. And I'm like,
So
but
he
the
caught
whole
feelings.
time but the whole time I kept saying to him, "We're friends," because he would say it in the car on the way to stuff. He'd be like, "Yeah, Reed, you know I'm feeling you," and I'd be like, "That's cool. You cool with me too, but we cool."
Yeah.
And he'd be like, "What that mean? We cool."
Okay. Well,
So that's cool. But if you wasn't that direct, I mean, and you was still giving, because the thing is, I was still hanging
You're not
out with
gonna
him.
act
I
like
was
this
flirty
king was
flirt.
wrong. This king was
But
not wrong in any way.
He
in this
wasn't wrong for
situation.
falling in love with me. No, you're never wrong for that.
And
But
he was upfront that every time you say y'all in the car, saying, "You know I'm really liking you, right?" Like the whole sex way.
And
thing
then I
passed,
was
like, I'm really trying
upfront
to cuff
though.
right now. Like,
That's
I
why
got cuffs in
I'm not.
pocket,
My thing is, you decided to fall. Like, you can't come to me on
didn't
some like,
decide.
I got one job
I
with you.
tripped.
I don't. Well, listen.
So the
get
young
the hell
lady
out
that you were
yourself.
with that you spoke of earlier, you tripped.
He got nothing to do with me.
She did trip, but that you can't blame. Like he couldn't blame her. Like I said, I was just saying he not wrong.
That's
but
true.
she's not wrong either. You can't
So
blame
the
me.
young lady that you were with wasn't wrong either, then, yeah? Because in this circumstance,
I never
you're
said
saying
she was
he
wrong,
wasn't wrong.
but she can't say I'm wrong. You already know your girls are. Of course, by the end, it was a bad ending. She flipped it on me. Man. It was bad.
It was your fault.
Yeah, it was my fault completely. Like, I was
You
all
probably
types
did
of shit
something.
with
I
her.
ain't gonna lie.
I'm a great storyteller.
He was
I
out
don't do
here.
things, so I'm not Tarantino with the story. You know, everything was straightforward, very linear. and that's how I went, whatever. But on that note, you spoke on one thing. What was it? Oh, when you said catching feelings. So I brought this up last week. I'll bring it up again briefly. When you were talking about how people, it's not your fault if somebody trips. But typically, at least from what I observe, because women are just naturally more vocal about things, or whatever. But from what I see, women are the ones who tend to trip the most. Like, oh, the dude can tell you off rip, yo, this is what I want. I don't want anything serious, and somehow or another he ended up being wrong in the end. He told you this from the beginning, and the girl ended up tripping. Okay, that's fine. No, I'm in my whole phase. And then they ended up tripping and wilding out, whatever. But I saw one argument recently where they said the man, or in general, the other person should be responsible for like the other person's emotions. Like you should take into account of like if like you know they equate like sex with emotions, you know they're gonna fall harder, and it's up to you to keep that in your frame of mind. Don't just worry about yourself. I'm just like, before I said, what do you think about that?
No.
I think whomever said that needs to watch like a Will Smith Instagram video to come in tune, to center their thoughts and understand that they're not responsible for how somebody else feels.
Simple response.
You can't say living your best life to be out here trying to be responsible for people's feelings.
That's true, sure.
No, I think though, just like Reed said earlier, you know, just be vocal. You got to communicate, and that's true for both sides. Accountability happens on both ways, and I feel like if people just are just more mindful of that, we'll be in much better circumstances. Yeah. It's really simple. We make it hard.
Yes.
That's human beings for you.
Definitely. Communication is key in most situations.
Yes. When people tell you what they want and who they are, believe them. Definitely if they're vocal.
Yeah, I be knowing dudes who say like, "No, I love you. I want you to be my girl. I really got that deep," and they don't give a fuck about this girl at all. To me, a situation like that is wrong.
Yeah.
I've never been that type, just for the record. I try to switch on me real quick.
Good job,
It's a good thing.
Thank you. I try. You mentioned living your best life. What is your image of living my best life?
That's in my head.
So what is your image? And when you think of you living your best life, what does it look like?
Balance for me.
Balance.
Hella balance.
You balancing niggas or no?
I got one.
Okay, good. I'm making sure. Keep you on your toes.
But balance, and I just want to be happy doing what I'm doing.
Okay.
Like,
what are you doing though? You
literally,
living your best life. What are you doing?
Because, okay, I'm a Gemini, so...
You crazy.
I definitely have...
Dang,
I could be...
You dealing with a Gemini? Dang,
Okay, he in Aquarius, so...
I don't know what that means. All I know is the stereotype
yeah,
Gemini.
yes.
Good days and bad days.
But...
You talking about Zay?
No, I have no idea. I don't follow any of that.
Yeah, Aquarius.
Keep talking, yo. Aquarius, yeah.
But no, I like a lot of stuff. Like, I like a lot of stuff. My attention is everywhere. I want to help a lot of people.
All right, Kanye. I got you.
So, no. I'm Kanye, but not Kanye. Okay.
Old yay. Okay.
Yeah, definitely old yay.
I respect it.
Right now, this yay needs a little, I don't know. He needs he needs to talk. I don't know.
No, he needs to stop talking.
Not
Yeah.
think and talk to, I don't know.
Honestly. Stop talking. For like 2 years.
Not me though. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. But yeah, just like I want to be able to be helping someone, but still enjoying myself while doing it.
Okay.
That's kind of why I choose like media stuff in a sense. Like I'm allowed to get what I have to say out, how I handle stuff, or you get to see my growing pains, and maybe that inspires you or whatever the situation is. So doing that and just balance. Yeah. A lot of balance.
All right. How about you, Miss?
It's pretty simple.
Living my best life. Mind you the question.
Creating, always creating, financial security, and being able to give back to my village, the people who have been there,
helped you get there,
when nothing
to your
was
best.
there. Yeah. And as I grow, as I grow and evolve as an artist, and my career prospers and progresses and soars, that village is growing, and I want to be in a position to be able to give back to everyone who's played a part and helping me get to where I'm going. Now, traveling is a big thing for me because my parents, I'm a Navy baby. So,
technically I am, but I didn't travel.
Okay.
I was just born in San Diego.
Okay.
Came here, that was it.
My brother and I were born in Hawaii. I was in Oahu, my brother in Honolulu. And we went to Chicago, to Jersey, to Pennsylvania, to Florida, and back. So I'm used to traveling. I know travel. And so, but to travel abroad now is that's the next step. I really want to travel to Greece. I see traveling, living my best life includes traveling and sharing my art globally.
Side note, my step-pop, I was always under the belief that he's a Navy brat as well. And I was always under the belief that he was born in Germany. Recently, I found out he was born in Chicago. He was sick as shit. Born in Germany, I did this. His mom said, no, his brother was not him. He's born in Chicago. I was like, salty as shit. You ain't exotic, nigga.
That's pretty common for a lot of Navy babies or military babies to be born in Germany. I hear that a lot.
Yeah. For me, you speak of a getting back to your village. I like that you said that because, well, even though I have it in my heart as well, but even if I did it, my mom would never let me live it down. So like, until I'm able to buy her a '66 Mustang, white with pink interior, pink rims, and like a pink house, a few pink Birkins. And
She's very pink.
A few pink Birkins, I won't be able to, my life is a waste. I won't be able to repay her back for 36 hours of labor and all that shit, whatever.
We gotta make that happen for you.
Yeah, until I do that, I'm like a failure.
That's gonna happen. It's going to happen.
Just life was a waste.
Speak that into
we speak things into existence now. So when
Mom, you're gonna get your pink
facts.
Birkins, you're gonna get all of that.
And that's been since I was like 6. So.
I know that.
See, she believed in you then.
She did. She already knew. She birthed you and said, "Here, I blessed you guys."
Come on.
Facts. And the only reason she I could have had more to bless the world. She said whatever.
Right.
So I gotta give her that. My pop, I give him, whatever, a car or something. Step pop. Yeah, really to her, she's like the high maintenance one. Everybody else is like pretty cool.
Everybody else is good.
I take
miracle hair too.
Yeah, you pay like 2 bills, I'm good. I'm usually good. She be like, nah, nigga, I don't have bills no more. Like these your bills.
Spoiled me.
So that's gonna be like my best life.
Okay.
Her living her best life is my best life.
I feel that though. Okay, I'm here for it.
Okay, Mama, that's interesting.
Yeah. Moving on though. So I see a lot of talk on Twitter about the hood nigga fetish. So like, you bitches don't know what a hood nigga is. Y'all ain't even been in the hood. Y'all just say y'all want a hood nigga. So one of my questions is gonna be, well, 2 questions. 1, have you ever dealt with a hood nigga? 2, what is a hood nigga to y'all? Before I get to that though, I'm gonna just say my piece of this.
Okay.
The hood nigga bad boy fetish phase has always been very interesting to me because I don't want to go to jail. So I always looked at it as like, if I'm going to go to jail, like, I got to be doing a crime. So for girls to be like, just like fucking somebody and risking jail time, I just be like, is it that deep? Like, it's like, this fetish is strong. If you risking like jail time for her, like, it's like, he looked that good? Like, I never got, like, a girl, it's really nothing a girl could do for me that would like risk me, like, yo, like be a mule for me though, like hide this pack under your balls and take a bus trip or go to the jail and call, like, pass this number over the jail call. I'm like, what, bitch? I don't like you, like, falls, like. So I never understood the jail, the bad boy getting shot at and had to bail him out. I never understood it. So that's just my piece about it.
Hide your pack under your nuts.
Girl,
yeah, I need you to hold this for me, babe.
They
like,
be doing wild
put
shit
that
for
under there,
niggas,
babe.
like, that they met last summer, like, it's September. But, so, what do y'all think about all of that?
Can we just define hood nigga? Like, can
I'm
we
asking you
define?
what's a hood nigga?
I feel like
Cause I would, like, to me, I think it's a, like I said, I do agree the girls be like, y'all don't know what a hood nigga is. Cause to me, bitches and like naive bitches, they be thinking just a hood nigga that's just like retarded. It's like a hood nigga. It's like, he don't got, but then some people like, no, you gotta be doing crime per se. No, you're just a criminal. You're a criminal, gotta be hood nigga. I was under the assumption for so many years that nigga who live in the hood is a hood nigga. Like, you don't have to be doing crime. It's mailmen who live in the hood.
I feel like I feel, my definition or my and not to stereotype a brother, but
Mm.
I mean, but
Come on,
my
sis.
when I think of hood nigga, okay, and this is me.
She said it so peacefully.
This is a reflection of
What's
my
next?
upbringing, my background.
Okay.
A hood nigga means you on the corner, you selling dope, you doing your thing, selling drugs, you in and out of jail, you
Okay.
bang bang bang, like shooting every other day, whatever.
Okay.
Like
I can go
you.
do, 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 do. I
You're in
can
a
go.
gang. You're in a gang, maybe. You know what I mean? Like you out here just being reckless.
All right, criminal.
That's okay. But I feel like I can't say that I've dated a hood nigga. I don't think I have, but I will say that I feel like I've dated a brother with hood nigga tendencies.
Okay.
Like-
What were some of those tendencies? Let me know. Let's
So gay shit. Like, you know, I was dating this guy. He was from West Philly, and he had they called themselves the military, so they went around with putting their ends
Oh
up.
yeah,
like
that's a
this.
hood nigga. That's a hood nigga. Okay.
And his man's like he was a college guy. I met him in college, like at Shippensburg, no less, Shippensburg
Scotland?
University.
Did he go to Scotland?
He did go to Scotland.
Oh, I knew as soon as
God,
you
my
said the
boyfriend
military, I know. We're gonna talk later.
Okay. See?
I had been with them niggas. It was real.
Which one? Because I was about to say, which one of them niggas? Because I
No,
know
It's still
that.
on site.
Sure, we can
It's
talk
still on
later.
site right there. Like with the military. Like
Wow.
some of my military brats. Like it's on site with the
I said the
military.
You went to
military.
Scotland?
No,
Oh, yeah, we was in the same
listen.
club.
I was a military like first lady then at that point. Like I was.
But
Wow,
I
surprise.
know. I probably know. Like I named 2 people, and I'm gonna
She
be on.
definitely hit some.
I even when what was that? I see. This is why it's important to be mindful of the company that you keep because the influence is real. What was that? A Milli.
Oh, yeah.
Lil Wayne. So I, for some reason, was in my rap phase. Like I was writing lyrics, I was rapping,
All right, Foxy.
and I came home from Shippensburg because I didn't stay there. I just did freshman year, and that was it. Came home to Coatesville, Pennsylvania, and I wrote this rap to a Millie, and it said something along the lines. It said something. It was saying something, and I had like a really fast part of the song, and then something, because I'm a military writer, and I sent it to them. I sent it.
Oh, shit.
Queen shit.
I sent it to them, and they
Zach, look that up on YouTube.
no, it's nowhere on YouTube. No, I only sent it to my friends
That's hilarious.
on my flip phone, you know, as a recording. But
Shout out to the Fuzik.
but you know, but that was it. Like that's the only connection that I have. And I mean, I have a friend who's right now, even still, he's in jail right now in Florida. I used to live in Jacksonville, Florida for 6 years, and he's a really good friend that I knew from middle school. He was my first puppy love. It was on some love and basketball shit. Like he taught me my first jump shot and all that. And
Oh, that's cute.
yeah,
That's cute.
I play you for it.
and now
She like that
oh,
shit.
double or nothing.
Bars! I don't care. I don't give a fuck what niggas say about BT playing to death. That's a classic. One of my favorite romance
really is.
movies.
My
It's
favorite,
one
one
of
of
my
my favorite
favorite
parts
movies.
is when they're young and they
Yeah.
was like, so now since you my girl, you gotta ride on my bike. She's like, I wanna ride on my bike.
Shout out to college
Yes.
friends.
Yeah, I love
Yes.
that. And they start fighting. They just got finished kissing for 5 seconds,
Right.
and
That's
then
love.
they're
That's love
fighting,
right there.
rolling around in the grass. Like I love that, but
Goals.
it actually is. But
They should have been on YouTube.
yeah, I can't say that I've dated a hood, but I've dated a guy with hood nigga tendencies.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, they just,
Newsflash.
Yeah.
He was a hood nigga though.
Was he?
He was a hood nigga.
No, because right now
He went to board.
He could
school.
have
he's doing his thing. He's
No, he's
Oh,
gonna
yeah, that's
outgrew the
true.
phase.
went
Yeah, I was
to
gonna
boarding
say
school
he's a
and don't
boy.
count.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure, that's
yeah.
true.
Well,
Nigga, it's
he's
cool.
always been.
He was out there in Scotland. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because my boyfriend's definitely not a hood nigga.
Oh,
Okay.
nah. He can't
Not
count
at
him.
all.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
He had her nigga tendencies.
He did. Tendencies, I agree.
Fair
I
enough.
agree.
How about you, miss? Any
I
of these
mean-
rebounds was like pre-rebounds, like off the rim, hood niggas.
I don't. Okay, when I was younger, like when I first
I'd be
moved back
offended if a
to
girl call me a hood
Philly.
nigga. Actually, I'd be offended. Bitch, I'm worldly. You got me fucked up. Like when niggas be like, when they go on Twitter and be like, yo, 56Q. What? You about to die on this block? Like, I wish I would call my block in my name. Like, fuck that block. That dirty ass block. Shout out to hood niggas. I don't know.
I can't.
Yeah, don't get on me. But when I was younger, I guess like when I first moved back, when I first moved back to Philly, because I lived at Elkins Park for a good 1st to 4th grade.
Okay.
When I first moved back to Philly, I guess
Like,
I would.
Elkins Park.
Yeah, that's not. Well, it's still the suburbs. I know that people don't think that, but I felt like if I had a mother-in-law suite, it's definitely the suburbs. I don't got no mother-in-law suite no more.
What is that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's an extra.
It's an extra part of the house
It's
that you can
Separate
have.
entrance to a house that has like
A whole room in
a
there.
bathroom and a bedroom.
Oh, you know about that? Zach?
Yeah.
Oh, you know about that? A mother-in-law suite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's to the house, not the bedroom.
Yeah, it's a part of our house.
I passed a
Well,
lot of that coming here today.
That's heavy talk right there.
Lower Marion area.
Yeah, over there too.
I mean, I'm just saying, I thought you were talking about using Jacksonville or something. You said
No.
I can get
just
there
the
right
suburbs.
now. Like,
yeah,
you know,
you definitely
like,
could. Right up there, you know.
But talk heavy though.
But
hood nigga thoughts.
But yeah, I used to hang out with my cousins. And my cousins, all right. So like, my cousins are definitely hood jaunts.
Oh, these girls.
Yeah.
Got hood rats, got you.
Yeah, I wouldn't call
Okay,
them
hood
rats.
jaunt. Okay, hood jaunt.
That's jaunt.
Okay,
Okay.
hood jaunt.
Let's not do that. Okay.
A little digging into the hood.
Just a little.
Okay.
And
Do they fight in the street?
I have cousins that do and cousins that don't.
Okay.
I have cousins that probably should
Slice
shut
them
up
in half.
because they not about that, and I have cousins that's gonna probably row it anyway. So
If you got repeated offenses in the street, you a hood rat. If not, maybe one, maybe two, you can consider it a hood joint.
okay, cool.
That's hood rules.
All right, so I got a little bit of both.
Okay.
But because I hung out with them, I mean, that's who I would like as puppy love. That's who I'm introduced to outside of the people in school.
Don't blame them.
So I mean, I would talk to people, but like
You was like Nuna.
in a sense, I guess.
Okay.
But it was just like I still had the same mentality. Like I wasn't like I would like people. And don't get me wrong, like definitely my first actual real kiss was from a hood nigga. But then I realized I don't think I was about that life. Like, and then once I got to high school, I talked to one. But it was one of those things where like you know a nigga selling or you know that might be something they were doing. But long as it wasn't like blatant for me, then it was cool. But the moment you started doing stuff that I felt like was like, all right, no. Like when I went to school, came back, boy, like, oh, I'm about to have a baby. I'm like, oh, okay. Now you going back down into like the more friend zone. And then the next year he said another baby. I'm like, St. John? Oh snap, you got a village. He like, no, a different one. I said, ooh,
You got
okay,
a big
stop
village.
calling me.
You got a village.
Yeah, but he was one of those. But I mean, nobody like that I know of did anything. You know, nobody was locked up or nothing.
Okay. Yeah, like I remember I saw one tweet one day. The girl was like, "Y'all bitches ain't even real. They ain't really holding y'all niggas down. Like, when I be my nigga in the car, I be playing the windows. I be make sure nobody coming up us on the side. I'm like, oh, so you know this nigga about to get killed and you just riding like you put your life on.
I'm Gucci.
I'm not being with my mans in the car. If it's, you think I'm being with some girls just mad?
All I'm gonna say to that is use wisdom. Use wisdom, sis.
Use
Yeah.
Use wisdom. That's all I'm gonna say.
If my dad was a hood nigga, I ain't around with you, dad.
I was about to say,
You got
I'm a
old head
product
on
of
your
somebody
head.
who was in jail for a very long time. My dad just got out after a 15-year bid. So, I'm not riding for anybody. My mom rode for him.
The whole
but-
time?
Whole time.
Shout out to that queen.
You know? Dad lives in my house now. I'm not
Like,
doing
yeah,
it.
my uncle in jail for
My
life.
mom told me not to. And so did all my cousins who also have, my cousin mess with hood niggas.
Oh, God.
Real ones.
She her right?
You know what? Yeah.
Gotcha, baby. Yeah, my uncle went to jail for life a long time ago, so I've always been like very close to that reality of like the real reality of that shit or whatever. So I never understood. Like I said, I never understood the fascination with it. Like like it don't last long, so I don't get it. Whatever.
I will say this. I do. I feel like I've never dated them, but I've come across hood guys, and it's a lot. And I don't want to. It's a lot behind their hood tendencies.
Agree.
Too.
Of course.
So I
Definitely.
feel like that's why they're so attractive to certain women because it's not just the gang banging and the drug selling.
Well, yeah, you have a good
And
personality.
there's girls
Yeah.
like that too.
Who you have some that are loyal. Now I'm not saying that he beating you up and all that. Like I'm not condoning that at all. Sis, you got to leave, bro. You got to leave if that's what you're into. But but I feel like a lot of times people get caught up because there's so much more to that person. I'm a very consider the root individual.
That's
so
true.
if I
Me too.
who's to say that I'm not gonna end up with a hood? I don't know.
Yeah, I would never be some hating ass, naive, ignorant ass nigga to be like, hood niggas dumb, hood niggas they can't wine and done, hood niggas can't be the lawyer, no.
Yeah.
But just for me, if I put myself in a woman's shoes of just reality, like, yo, this nigga's a great human being. He's nice as shit. He respect my mom, and he treat me well, and he always this and that.
Listen,
But like, he on the run, so it's like, yeah, I'm okay. I'll pass. Like, you know, like I just don't like the pros and cons of the situation.
Right.
It's just like it's cool. I remember my best with the other girl. Like I said, it was like that. I used to always ask her. I'm like the king of hypothetical situations. This whole podcast is based on hypotheticals. So, but it's like I remember I was like, yeah. So like, you know, if I went to jail, would you ride? And this bitch would be lying. Like, shut up. No, you wouldn't. But shit like that always had like, no, you wouldn't. That's okay. Like, I don't think you can blame someone for not riding, quote unquote, if you go to jail. Because like, that shit ain't just. Oh, yeah, in jail. I gotta go through fucking strip searches just to visit him hours away. All this shit. Like, it ain't something that is like whatever, like walk in the park, whatever.
You can do video chats now with your inmates.
Really?
Oh,
I mean, I knew that they had
snaps?
tablets and everything else, so.
It's called jail.
Yeah, I was texting my uncle
They out
today,
here.
like literally today. Like, so, yeah, shout out to the jail technology. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, instead of writing letters, you can email them now.
So
Definitely.
my girlfriend is African, right? And you know, anybody who truly knows me, I have a lot of African jokes. But you know, I love her. You know, I feel she's the greatest, whatever. But you know, I stay with some fresh African jokes with that, whatever. And I displayed them a lot in my job per se. And it was like, oh my god, cute. How you an African queen? But you got jokes. And I'm like, shut up. I'm gonna get these jokes off, whatever. But one day they proposed a good point or interesting point where it's like, you know. Would you ever consider learning? My girl, she speaks like 5 different languages, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, would you ever want to learn the languages and the culture, whatever? And I'd just be like, no, cause she speaks English, and so I had no reason to learn that type of thing. Whatever. So, and they was like to me like I had 3 heads, like, oh my god, you ignorant American, toxic male. I'm like, yo, like, no, I'm not. Outside of joking, I'm not degrading or downsizing her culture or this and that, whatever. If we have kids and she want to teach them that language, that's fine. But I have no desire to learn. And actually, y'all, it rooted in one of the coworkers I have. She's Haitian, and she's saying, this is a whole other story. She's saying she don't fuck with black American men. And all this other dumb shit, whatever. But basically, she's like, yeah, because they can't speak my language. So it will be like, I'll have to teach them. Because my mom don't speak English, I have to teach them the language to teach to her. I'm like, but you speak English. So why? And I was saying, why would I care about your mom if you speak English? And they looked at me again like I had 3 heads. I'm just like, I don't care about your mom necessarily. Like I ain't no beef per se. But long as we good, she can understand this. And hi and bye and smiling. I didn't understand why that was a necessity. And they were like, that's why, like, you don't want to learn the language, Q? So. All that being said, just a general question, like, what do you guys think about mixing cultures? Is it really necessary to be fully engulfed in it? And What do you think about that? Am I being a crazy 3-headed toxic nagger? Or
I don't think you're a crazy 3-headed toxic nagger. I think though that just in as much, especially if you've chosen to commit to someone of a different culture, just as much as you would like them to adhere to who you are, and what's embedded in your genetic thread, I think it will pay to reciprocate that, and that's easy. That's as simple as that. Reciprocating what you would desire from your partner. So you know the things that you like, you probably will encourage her to like them too, so you both can enjoy them together. It may be important for you to learn her language so that you talk about kids with her, so you see a future with this girl.
Right.
So that means families are going to be merging. Okay.
Maybe.
That means families.
It might be over today.
It
might go over when she heard this
hypothetically, right?
Hypothetical.
Because we're talking about the hypotheticals.
Shout out to hypotheticals.
You might, you just take all of that into consideration. That maybe that'll just have to be something that you would have to do. That's an investment. Right?
Also, for the context. She's a fake African. Like, she's super Americanized.
Is she?
Just because she speaks other languages.
We still love you.
And she do certain things, and she can dance with the all that stuff, whatever. She's super Americanized. She wasn't born there. She been here forever.
Well, for the sake of the question, though.
No, but I was saying though, just skip to the end real quick before I get back to y'all. I realized by the end, because one girl, she had an African boyfriend who they have kids with, and she's saying she wouldn't understand what the fuck I was saying because she had come from a different perspective. Because her dude came from Africa, and he came here when he was like 15 or something, so he's really engulfed in that culture. So he speaks broken English at times, he has a strong accent, and he don't listen to American music at all. So you learning his culture be more of a priority versus me learning her culture because she's American 90% of the time, whatever. So just for my credit, just saying, you know, like she ain't like, you know, like if you just saw her, you just thought she was just, you know, neighbor South Philly. Like,
I cannot.
but
I mean, I agree with her. Like, I agree with, is it, say it again.
Shanina.
Shanina.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I got it.
Thank you.
Okay, so I agree with Shanina. I feel like it's kind of, I feel like what people were trying to say, the reason why they thought like three-headed toxic man. Nagger. Okay. I think it's because, like she said, hypothetically, if you were to expand your family or anything of that nature in regards to like relationships, people usually desire for their families to blend. And if you're not necessarily learning those things that the mother may still, because even though she's not really from there, I guess, as you would say, not me. Oh, shit. But I guess, you know, because she's Americanized, quote unquote, she still has that part of her. It's something, she has a connection. At the end of the day, I can't say what part of Africa I'm from, so I'm just going to have to be American. But with an African descent. But like, she has some type of, right, Black American. But she has some type of connection to it. So I can see why it's kind of like, why wouldn't you want to? But at the same time, I don't think it's not a bad thing that you're not. I mean, like you said, you don't desire it. So it's not that you're against it. It's just that you're not out here like, oh my God, I want to know. And it's probably also because she's not necessarily that indulged with it herself. That
and I feel if she was, you would then, it'd probably been a natural inclination. Yeah, there you go. And also, I took Spanish for 4 years. I don't know shit. Like I just have a barrier with language.
But you learn language easier when it's like just communication between people. That's how we've got taught language.
She speaks on the phone.
In high school.
And I'd be like, I'd be like, let me turn this music up real quick. Cause I'm just like,
I can't.
No shit. She don't be kind of mad, but it's
that's
cool.
I'm excited to learn different cultures, though.
Really?
Like that's part of. That's also part of my best life.
You gotta drop this guy.
No, we're gonna do it together.
Yeah.
But that's a part of.
Get an African king. Like,
I can't do that. I will not. Everybody got that on the record.
Don't tell me to say that.
All right.
That's my man.
I love my African American king.
Come on.
He got African name, so I mean. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's good enough.
What's his name?
Asante.
Rep your king. Shout out to Asante Samuel.
You know what I mean?
He said it a bunch of times right now. No, not with the Jim Beanie. Not with the Jim Beanie.
You know, my name don't mean shit, but you ask Lena, my mom, they all type of meanings and shit.
I see
like
pink.
Kiswahili.
When you said mom, I see pink. Okay.
Yeah, she got all type of meanings she been running with for 26 years. It means this, it means that. She just made it up. Whatever.
What is your name?
Q-Day.
Oh, Q-Day. Okay.
Also, so you have
different.
Thank you. You having your king. Are you cuffed, miss? Put the rebound out there. Put the
rebound.
Again, I don't believe in rebounds. And I am single.
Alright, dude out there. No, I thought we had something. Alright, whatever though.
This month will make it 6 months single.
Okay, cool. So let's just say whatever, and it's best whatever. Let's just picture a guy. Whatever you think of your best relationship with somebody. Shout out to Sal. He's an asshole. He got sick. I asked this question one time when he got sick of it automatically. I'm like, nigga, how long you know me? I asked hypotheticals all day. Leave me the fuck alone. I thought it was a good question. So you have your king, your hypothetical king, whatever, your best friend, and your parent. Rank who would know you best.
Oh, my man's gonna know.
Really?
Yeah.
Same with you?
Dang. Okay, wait. Let me think.
All right, who's second, who third? Why she thinking?
Probably my BFF.
And then your parent?
Yeah.
Either one? Okay, how about you?
At this point, it's gonna be my boyfriend.
And
he was my mom. Mom, I still love you.
She don't cry.
But she don't.
And she too, and then BFF 3?
Yeah. Well, Asante is like my BFF.
I ain't trying to hear that shit. Who
No,
you?
real
Who
rap.
A lot of times, yeah.
Because we really, that's the thing. Like, we really.
All right, I ain't getting into
that
that discussion. That's a whole. I have this discussion every time.
Listen,
Whoever your closest female friend is, where's she at?
Oh.
One right here.
Okay. I saw she was mad you didn't have her on the list, but it's cool.
Yeah, no, she's
I
still
saw her
gonna be
face. She
number
was like, I'm
3.
number 1.
There you are, right over there.
She was like, I'm
Yeah. That is cool. That's my Pisces sister.
But so where's she at? 2 or 3? Your friend?
No, she's 3.
Okay, good. Damn, shit.
No.
You sound
It
like
is
a-
3 because I don't
trying
be
to
with.
start
Oh, she sounded like a great,
It's one of
like.
those things where like I literally like
I mean,
we
she
got that
breathed
friendship there, so like me and him, I'm more with him now in this stage of my life
I get you.
and
Yeah.
That's what I think.
whatever, and it's like some stuff I talk about, some stuff I don't.
Okay, so boom. How about this? I asked this other guy who was married. He's like 30 something. He's married, has a kid now, whatever. Boom, boom. I'm like, yeah, so who do you tell? I asked him the same question. He said he was at his wife's friend then, and he said then he wanted to say that he tells his best. No, I'm sorry. Actually, he said his best friend first, then his wife. Then he was like, I tell my best friend everything, and I tell my wife most of everything. And I was like, you know, where I live my life, I thought it was like a safe way to be is that you tell them both probably equally, but just different things. I don't believe in telling everybody everything.
Yeah.
But I tell my best friend a lot. I tell my girl a lot. But I'm not telling either one of y'all everything. I need some boundaries
Gotta
of some
be
kind or whatever. I thought it was interesting. He said, I tell my best friend everything.
No.
My wife, though, mother of my child, she got some boundaries. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. Like, she live with you and shit.
She got some boundaries.
Like, she's second place for real. Like, the dude, and his best friend live in California. I'm like, word? Like, that's how we ranking people? That's what's up.
No, I agree with you. I think it's that I literally, it depends on what it is, but I definitely tell equal, but
He probably feels safer because that best friend is in California.
That's true.
So,
Interesting.
like, the secrets are safe way on the West Coast.
that's true.
Interesting.
Unless he move out there and now they everywhere.
You already know. You
Before
can't
he
move.
even got there.
You can't move back,
Before he
nigga.
even got
Like,
there.
you got to stay
They
over
already
there.
know you, bro. He told everybody.
Yeah. Now, I know for me, when I'm in a relationship, I tend to, especially the kind of woman that I am, I am around my man a lot, and I tend to date artists. And so we're collaborating a lot. We're spending a lot of time together, creating or just vibing or just doing nothing at all, which I love to do because I do so much. So I naturally spend a lot of time with my guy. So then he inadvertently just
Becomes that.
he's the BFF.
Right.
He's the BFF and the significant other. And my parents, they're worrywart, both of them. Worrywart Tauruses. Well, my mother is. And my stepmother, happy mom. She doesn't like stepmom. She likes happy mom. So my happy mom and my mother, they are, or my bonus mom, whatever. They're both worrywarts. But my father, you know,
My mom was
transparently
stabbed me
we
if I called my
are
stepmom happy mom.
transparently we are still building.
You got one mom, nigga.
Building that relationship, my father and I. But so. You know how you already know how someone's gonna take what kind of information you give them, and it's just it's either gonna help or it's not.
Or it's not. Right.
It's either gonna lift you up or it's just flat out gonna leave you lower than before you came to them with whatever it was. So, I'm a bit of an empath, and I have a strong discerning spirit. So, it all goes to who I've decided to commit myself to first, and then the friends that I keep close are very few. So they will know just as much as my significant other, and then maybe my parents will, when I know that they're ready to
hear it.
Yeah, to receive whatever it is.
When I thought about it, I gave it's weird because I feel like my girl, she's a natural creep and a stalker. So like she just know all my routines and she know everything about me nowadays and shit. But so naturally, I think like she probably number one these days, whatever. But my mom, I feel is like a small percentage of me that I feel like all couples have. It's like a small percentage of shit that she doesn't know. That I feel all couples have that leads to like minor disagreements or arguments or whatever shit like that. Because it's like, it's just a disconnect I don't have. Because two different individuals or whatever. That's what my mom has over her because she just raised me. And I just naturally think like my mom and shit like that. Even though we don't act the same, but I just have similar thoughts and wavelengths as her or whatever. So I think, they probably tired, or my mom might have the edge on her and shit like that. So I really don't know. My best friend, but at the same time, he knows him well, but he definitely 30. Fuck that nigga. But something you said, you say you have empathy or whatever. I realized recently that I was able to like formulate this full thought that I struggle with empathy. Cause I'm able to like wrap my mind around situations, scenarios by being like, how would I deal with this if I was in these shoes? And a lot of times, it's not how most people would deal with it. So then I come out looking like an asshole. I'd be like, what you mean? I wouldn't have dealt with it that way. And it makes it, so I can't empathize because like I wouldn't have dealt with it that way. So I'm confused why you're dealing with it this way or whatever. So I'm trying to work my way around through that.
Yeah.
Not trying to be like such an asshole. I really don't be mean and I don't be malicious in my intended things. I just be like, I wanted did it that way. I wanted took it that way. Why did you?
I don't know.
You should be like me.
It's weird because I feel like I don't take things the way most people do things either. Like I relate to you in that sense.
Who starts more fights? You or him? You or your king?
Starts more fights? No, we equal in that, honestly.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, we.
So that means you.
some
Got you.
stuff. No.
That's what I heard. That's what
Not
I heard.
at all. Not at all. Because he be on some stuff. But I feel like I might definitely think of things that way, but I still have this understanding. Like, and it got even worse once I became a sociology major. Like, my whole thing when people go through things, I'm like literally thinking of every possibility and trying to think of all the different variables or institutions that may go into how they reacted and all this other stuff. So for the most part, I'll find myself feeling or like literally like to the point where I don't even gotta know people. Like his cousin died. I never met her for a day in my life. I cried at the funeral more than he did. And I was so embarrassed because I felt like this is a time for a family to grieve over their person, and I'm crying like I know her. I never seen her, but I felt it. Like I just I feel like in a sense like it's possible to feel like you won't deal with things the same way, but it's still possible to also feel how people feel and understand like dang, that's fucked up.
Gotcha. So one last thing before I get out of here. Do you women consider yourself light skinned? What?
I don't know why
People
I thought
have-
it was going to end on a heavy note.
Right. I'm like,
You gotta ask
consider, what is this?
different question.
Like, am I allowed to consider that?
No,
Like,
because you know people. I consider myself brown skinned.
Okay.
People call me light skinned though.
okay, so I can see that.
I
I can
believe
see
I
why
am
they do
brown
that.
skinned.
All right. I grew up
It's, by the way, this is leading to a whole other discussion, but
in
I had
an
to.
impressionable stage in my life in Jacksonville, Florida, right? So, in the South is a big thing. You're dark skin or you light skin. And I was a yellow girl. I was a yellow bone.
Red bone.
I was a red bone or a yellow bone.
How does your song go? Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. It's, but I've never. No, I may have referred to myself as light skinned, but because that's what I knew growing up and partially growing up in Jacksonville, because that's what I was told. You're a yellow bone. You're a red bone.
Yeah, my mom white as fuck. Like she like Tisha Campbell, and she be like because she's from the South as well. She's from Virginia.
Okay.
And she hates to this day the red bone, yellow bone mentality. But I guess because it was like just told to her so much that she resents those two labels, but she does consider herself light skinned.
Anymore, I'm
white as
a
fuck.
black
You
woman.
Right.
I identify as a black or brown woman.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely black and brown.
At this
me.
point, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not to get too deep,
Yeah.
but so the overall general question is, you know, like say you were considered yellow bone or red bone or stuff, whatever. You're light skinned in case you didn't answer, but
I know. I'm yellow. I got a little tan though,
Yeah.
but
I got a little piece too.
y'all little,
But I'm
as Lena
definitely
was saying, y'all
yellow.
little pecan. But do you think you guys have dealt with light skin privilege? 'Cause I saw one video one day where it was a mom talking to her daughter, and the daughter was dark skinned, and the mom was like lighter, and she's like, "Mom, you don't understand, like."
you talking about what's that? Mary daughter, right?
I'm not
that
sure.
singing group.
It was on Twitter. It might have been.
Yeah, more than likely.
But she was
I'm
talking about
offline
like
right now, so I don't
Yeah.
know.
what happened?
I'm offline until
You know
Oh,
what?
okay.
You know what gospel group I'm talking
Yes,
about, right?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I think her name's Erica.
Okay,
or
Tisha
something.
and Erica. Okay.
Yeah, I think her daughter's brown skin, and
Okay.
she was talking about how
Yeah.
like she's dark skinned.
And she's like, you don't understand, Mom. Like, people didn't talk to me like they talk to you. And I went through this. And her mom really was just super unaware and oblivious to what she was saying. She said, what you mean? No, you pretty. Da, da, da. She's like, Mom, how don't you see this shit? I'm nice. I'm dark skinned. You light skinned. Da, da. And I thought, and a lot of women were chiming in saying, like, yo, this really be happening. Where, like, your mom can be light and you dark, and they have no idea what you go through just on the complexion level. And I thought that was interesting, saying like, yo, light skinned girls are trying, like, they don't deal with the privilege of certain things. And so, you women being yellow,
So
your thoughts?
I come from a brown woman though. Like my mother and my father are both darker than me.
Okay.
My mom was blessed to have all 3 shades. So she will always say like, y'all could never make fun of each other, like seriously in any type of way. Now granted, we still kids, we still bust and say whatever. But she was like, yeah, you're not. Yeah, I was considered straight up white though. That's what that was. Didn't help that I was definitely suburban black girl. So.
Elvis Parkhead.
But in a sense though, being raised by someone darker, my mom always talked about the struggle of being dark and the struggle of being, as she would say in that time, fat. And because she always talked about it, she made sure like with me that she encouraged that I was really pretty, but she always wanted to make it known that I was more than just being pretty. Because she would be like, people are going to always say you're pretty. They're going to always think you're this and that. So I was aware of my privilege because I have all my cousins, and most of my cousins are really brown too. It's only like a little line out here, but whatever. And since I was aware of it, I find myself like, I feel it, but I also know for myself, it's never as hard. Like, I don't want to say like it's a struggle of like someone goes through more of a struggle than the next person, but I know like for me growing up, trying to say that I wasn't mixed with something was just as annoying. Like, definitely the simple fact that no one can ever pinpoint where my dad was. People always, when I came back to the city, they were like, oh yeah, your dad gotta be white. To the point where like I asked a weirdo kid who didn't talk to nobody, like, do you think my father is white? And he was like, yes, I do. And I'm like, what? So like, it, I think it's really present, and I think colorism is just a thing in general with us, and you can't. Hey, yo, King.
No, you good. Keep on.
Okay. I don't think that like. I think that in general it just needs to be a thing that we need to like let go of. Like you said, like it's more like I'm brown, we all black. Like we all come in different shades of colors. There's no point to really like make situations like, okay, like this is that and this is this, but it is important to acknowledge that this is the struggle that browner people go through. Because at the end of the day, it is true when you come from a place where whiteness is spread it everywhere, that's what is superior. At the end of the day, if you are lighter than brown, you are going to have some sort of privilege over the next person. But there's so many different things that go into you that the intersectionality of yourself, you'll probably be oppressed somewhere else, more than likely.
Some thoughts, Miss?
Yeah, I never, I don't think I've ever benefited from the privilege of being light skinned. I always, my mom is a brown woman, a dark woman. My brother is too. And so I grew up with that, and I also, with the childhood that I had with moving to all these different places, I saw being black beautiful in all shades, like all everywhere. So I never understood really the whole like, oh, you being light skinned, or like light skin is more beautiful. Like I never understood that because I remember vividly this one young black woman in elementary school. Her name was Chantel Stewart. She was the most gorgeous woman, young girl that I've ever seen. She had beautiful dark brown skin. It was clear. She didn't have acne. She had really beautiful wavy silky hair. I loved spending the night at her house. Like she was just so beautiful. To this day, I have no idea where she is now, but wherever she is, I pray she's well, because I thought she was the most beautiful girl in the world. And she was a dark girl. And like I said, I mean, I'm somebody who grew up with insecurities about myself. So even as a light-skinned girl, I didn't think I didn't walk around thinking I was superior to anybody. I did know to acknowledge and accept the beauty in different shades. So I learned that very young. It was just embedded in me naturally. I grew into that. I was born into that. So, but I do see that today. Yara Shahidi is a beautiful actress, young actress that I follow. She's incredible. Her mind is insane. And but I saw that she was getting a little backlash for the certain roles that she would get as a light-skinned young actress, new, quote unquote, new to the game. I mean, she's been doing this since she was a child, but in mainstream, she's considered fairly new. And she was getting a little backlash because of the color of her skin, and I was just like, are you just ignoring the fact that she's brilliant? Like, her mind is like more valuable probably than the president that we have. Like, you know what I mean? I just, you know what I mean? It boggles my mind, the whole dark skin versus light skin thing. It really does. It needs to be done.
It does. It really does. Like, it's so time.
And you mentioned the acting light skin thing, and I've always been, even at the young age, but I guess in the broader conversation, it all adds to the same monster. But like, I definitely did the jokes. Oh, you acting light skin or this and that, but I never in my life was I ever taking it seriously. Or like, and looking back, I definitely had friends who were like, oh, like, she pretty, but and she light skinned, or it's like, oh, I don't even, like, they never taught the dark skinned girls, but I never was that type. I've always just thought pretty was pretty and bad is bad, or sexy, whatever. And but yes, I definitely, so I've always been able to joke, but then be like, no, nigga, this is a joke, like, this is not real life. But as I grown, I realize even now seeing niggas that are grown who base these jokes into reality and shit like that. Yeah, I definitely dealt. Some people, I consider myself brown skin, but some people call me light skin. I think I dealt with certain privilege, but also dealt with a lot of bad pitfalls. You know, I have great waves now, but growing up I had very peasy head. It was a struggle. I had to fight myself out that hole, out that pit of hell. And Lena gave up on me. Lena used to cut my hair bald and then just let it peas up. And I had to take control, wash it every day, grease it every day, and brush it nonstop. I used to wear Dickies every day with a brush and brush it nonstop. You know, you have the result you see today, whatever. So just because you may have a alleged privilege, you still gotta fight through it.
Embrace your people. Listen, I have what they call the YouTubers. They call it the naturally so YouTubers. They call it 4C coily hair.
I always hear about 4C.
You got 4C?
I got the 4C underneath these braids, and I've grown very proud of them over the years.
It's 4C. So on scale of like nappy, is 4C high or like in the middle or like what is 4C?
It's very high. So coily, the strands are very coily, and it's more prone. It's more prone to knotting up and getting tangled up.
Okay.
Shout out to the naps. It's not that defined.
Shout out to the naps.
Yeah.
You with the naps, yo?
Yeah. I'm proud of my naps.
Yeah, like this can't grow too far out. I got a haircut this week. Like this shit gonna start looking wild.
I was just looking like you last September. I did it. I shaved my
actually didn't see pictures. Yes.
I did the buzz cut. And
I mean, your waves aren't like this. Though. Like, don't say like
I never had waves. But the intention was never to have waves.
I'm just saying though, like these waves, I worked hard for these. Don't do that.
First of all.
Second of all, I'm just making it clear. He said, I look at her like you. Like, no, y'all
I mean, as far as how low my hair was.
I got you, sis.
Not like these ones.
But I'm saying, y'all don't know the path I went through.
But you have as fresh as mine.
I'm just saying, like, I worked
You're
hard.
not wavy though.
I had to brush his hair 22 hours out the day. No, moving on. But did you guys enjoy yourself?
Yeah.
You'll come back. We good? No issues?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Q.
Okay. How about the tag along? You guys enjoy yourself once again?
Always.
Cool.
You gotta have my tag along. Her name is Phelan. She's an amazing singer. She's really dope.
She's a singer.
Yeah, she's
I was unaware of
She's
that.
a gorgeous voice. She'll be in Mexico.
I'm a YouTube couple boyfriend.
Singing for you.
Did you say you're a YouTube couple? Stop it.
I'm a YouTube couple boyfriend.
Oh.
I can tell you about that.
He put mad bass in his voice. I'm a YouTube couple, nigga.
That's when you find out you're in a YouTube couple. You like, oh shit, this shit real. Y'all watching? Okay, all right.
But drop your social media so people know where you're following you, everything follow, keep up track on y'all or whatever.
I am
Any new events coming up, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I'm in deep prep for my next solo exhibition due to commence March 2nd, 2019 here in Philly. It will be Embryo 8, the 8th annual installment of the Mental Health Art Exhibition. I'm in preparation for it now, so I'm off social media, but please still follow me because I'll be back in October. I'm doing a little bit of a cleanse, detox. But it's at Shanina Dionna, SHANINA, Dionna, DIONNA, all one word. That's my name on everything: Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Tumblr, all that.
Cool. Dang. That's not my name. Not on. Yeah. No.
Speak the truth.
But so I'm Reed again. You guys can follow me on Instagram.
Why are you talking? Finish that cup real quick though. You got a little splash in there.
You know what?
I'm gonna finish, y'all. 1 second.
You know what?
Yeah,
No,
it's a little splash.
Oh, you were kidding me.
Continue.
So yeah, so I'm Reed. I'm MisMossTheBoss on Instagram. That's MisMossTheBoss. And
are you the boss in your relationship?
What?
No comment. And he could say yes. Okay, cool. Yes, I am.
All right, cool.
You know, I just let him.
King
I
got
didn't
no role one time. You know, Queen win the game in chess. But, you know, it's cool. Continue.
But my YouTube channel is MisMossTheBoss TV, and I would just follow me because I always got something under my sleeve.
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm here for the surprise.
All right, cool. Sounds good. Thank you, Queens, for coming on. I think it was a really good episode. Yeah. I'm gonna call this Educational Shade.
Educational Shade. I like that.
Yeah, that time. Oh, y'all just started talking girl talk in the
middle
of my outro. Y'all just started talking wild.
Oh, we so sorry.
Yeah, so fuck this whole episode. Delete this shit, Zach. But Educational Shade, RightonQuelive, talk about it. We out.
You just see another black queen and you get excited. My bad.